If we start with, and again, all about me, it's my show. So, what can you tell me about? I mean, I sit here, and then we will take your phone calls. I mean, it's not all about me.
Oh, you're asking me to tell you about you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you've already told me too much already. You should never, ever do that with a psychic or a psychic medium, and there's a difference between the two.
Yeah, you're right.
Also.
Correct.
There is a difference. A psychic is someone who can give you intuitive information about aspects of your life.
Right.
A psychic medium does that, but also is able to tap into the soul energy of loved ones who have passed on. For me, it's going to be the person you would least likely to expect. Now, I'm also picking up for you, Doc, on the soul energy of a grandpa who has passed on, who I believe was a smoker.
Yep.
And was he a fisherman also, by chance, to your memory? And I also got a salute, so that tells me military service.
Boy, now I didn't know my grandfather. My mom.
He knows you.
All right.
Whoever it is who fits this description, he knows you. And he's wearing plaid or flannel shirts also, so I don't know if, from memory. Now, he also carries with him a pocket knife. So he's doing a little whittling with sticks and twigs, I think. And he may also have known to do a little bit of woodworking, because I'm being shown a plane and there are wood curls curling out from it. So tell me if any of this is resonating.
It is, and even though I didn't know him,
He knows you.
I have my grandfather's pocket knife.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
I have it. No, not on me, but I have it. My mom gave it to me.
That's
my
beautiful.
mom had given it, as my mom still lives at 89, but it's like, I have my grandfather's pocket
What I
knife.
must tell you is that it retains his energy because it's metal, and he used it. He used it almost every day, I believe.
Wow.
He's peeling an apple and cutting it up with it. So you want to feel more strongly connected to him. Get yourself alone, turn off everything, and just sit with that pocket knife and think about him and see what you get. And that goes for anyone listening who has a piece of jewelry. For example, a grandpa's pocket watch, or a wristwatch, or a grandma's necklace. That, because it's metal, it retains the energy of the person who wore it. And if you feel as though you want to be closer to them, other than just talking to them, sit with that object and hold it.
It's amazing. I'll tell you something else on a whittling end. It is. I have that at home as well, and that was it was like a cow. It was like a cow horn, where they would. It was a cow horn whittled out, and they wear it like as a sheath, put water in it or whatever they would do, when they would whittle. And it is amazing that he's whittling. Now you're saying wood, maybe it could be this, I don't know, but he would whittle that. I have a cow horn that was my grandfather's.
Now, he says he was a tough old coot.
Yeah, he was, from what I hear.
And I'm smelling alcohol also. So he says whiskey.
Yeah, they owned the Maple Tree Inn Tennis Club, where the Maple Tree Inn Tennis Club is right now. That used to be a bar restaurant that my grandparents owned.
There you have it.
So amazing.
There you have it.
Sometimes
I need to tell you that you are loved and adored by him. He's very, very pleased and proud of you, and he also calls you a politician, which is curious to me. So I don't know if you have had any inklings about doing anything where you would be out in public campaigning or supporting someone that you believe in.
Wow.
But this is I'm going to project that for you, if that is something you choose to follow through on. That you would do well pressing the flesh, so to speak, if not for yourself, then on behalf of someone who you really believe in.
I talk about sometimes being, like being elected president, and then doing, like, my campaign would be like free beer Fridays for the working people. That's what I.
Now, Grandpa, I think he's got a dog with him, by the way. So I think that he may have been a hunter.
They did
if memory serves, because I think this dog went with him.
They did hunt.
But he's a rather no frills type of guy. But he's well known and well liked, I must tell you.
He was. That's funny that my grandfather, who I never knew, was
Happens often.
coming
Well,
through.
I did say you have to expect the unexpected. The person you would least expect to hear from
You're right.
is who you're going to get, which lends credibility to what I'm telling you.
You do, and I'm getting goosebumps because my grandfather was a big hunter. He also whittled another cow's horn where they would carry black powder in it, and they back in the day they used a
There
flint
you
lock.
have it.
So
There you
that is
have it.
very amazing, and yeah, expect the unexpected. And he did have a hunting dog, and
Now
he,
I'm hearing him cough, and I feel as though my lungs are filled. So I don't know if he had emphysema, if his lungs filled with fluid toward the end of his life, and you may not have that information to share right here and now.
I don't. I'll ask my mom. I'll check with my mother. That's amazing. I often think.
I believe he may have smoked Lucky Strikes, or early on Lucky Strikes, because I just was shown the image of that package.
That's my mother. That's amazing. I mean, some of those things, and that's funny you say hunting because he did have a hunting dog.
Well, that's not,
and
a lot of, this is a rural area, lots of men go hunting and lots of men take dogs with them, so
Right.
that doesn't blow me away.
Right.
The part about the whittling and you have his pocket knife,
I do.
that is impressive to me.
Yeah, that I do have his. I have his pocket knife. I have his pocket knife. Like I said, my mother. You start getting up in age, and then you have these artifacts that you keep to the family and hand down, and then they go here to this family. Some to my sisters, some to me, and that's amazing.
Now I must ask you also, I don't know if you answered the question if he did any woodworking to your knowledge, but I'm seeing what, and maybe this is somewhere in the family, I'm seeing what looks like a homemade piece of furniture for a child or a baby, such as a little high chair or a cradle that someone would have made by hand. Because he shows me his hands, and when I am shown a man's big rough hands, sometimes there's dirt under the fingernails, that tells me someone who could do some automotive work, someone who could maybe do a little electrical work, someone who did woodworking, or some sort of handiwork, even if it was just around the house. So I'm going to put that out there for you to percolate on beyond our time together.
My dad was big with that. My dad did a lot of that.
And
my dad
has your dad passed?
My dad has passed.
Oh,
and
well then I may be picking up on your dad.
my dad could do a little bit of everything.
I may be picking up on father. Could I have his first name, please?
David.
David. Yes. Do you have brothers?
I have one brother.
Also, because he's talking about his boys. He's talking about his boys. There may have been one that was lost also.
Well, that's funny. My older brother has passed.
Mm-hmm. There may have also been a miscarriage.
There was in our family.
Thank you. Because he's holding the energy of what looks like an infant to me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Him and my mom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dad, he says you're a chip off the old block. You get a lot of his personality from you. He, I'm going to curse, and I can't curse on the air, but he apparently would let a word fly now and then. But basically what he's saying is, when I was here, I would have thought this was a load of horse apples.
All right.
But he says, but I see it clearly now. He says, I have clear vision. I'm also smelling alcohol. I don't know if there's issues on that side of the family.
I don't know. I don't think so, not on my dad's side. But when you said something, and not to throw you off about saying it's a clear vision, when I started out doing this 37 years ago, my dad said when I was on the road, even starting to do DJ work, he said, "You can't make a living doing that."
Well, from where he sits now, he has 360-degree vision. He has new lenses, and he sees clearly. I think he said he was very proud of you, or that maybe that was Grandpa that said that. But you see, they pat their chest. That's my symbol for very proud, very proud. Yes. He says you didn't always see eye to eye.
No.
But he respects you as a man, from man to man. He respects you very much, and he says that he went out rather quickly.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah.
My dad had
that there wasn't a lot of preparation for that.
My
and
dad
he hits his chest like that, so I don't know if he had heart-related issues or had heart attacks. He also tells me, Doc, that he had symptoms prior to his passing that he never talked about. He never let anyone know about. You understand? So he, you okay?
Yep.
So he was concealing, he, tried to put on this facade of, rather tough guy, macho type. And he didn't care much for going to the doctor, I must tell you. So he was sort of putting on a facade
Yep.
of, I'm okay, it's nothing, it's gas, it's heartburn, it's whatever. But he wants you to know also that you are loved and adored. And he says, I didn't tell you that, or I didn't tell you that nearly often enough. He says, I was not hands-on in terms of touchy-feely with my boys. He says, I am hugging you and kissing you now, whether you like it or not. And he says, I am so pleased and proud. And he says, please know that you have many champions and allies here around us, where he is.
My dad,
Heavenly realm.
my dad started out with symptoms of a heart attack and never told any one of us.
Yeah.
My dad died of a massive heart attack at
There you have it.
56 years old.
There you have it. Oh my goodness.
And
bless him.
didn't know anything. And then when he did suffer the symptoms that he couldn't get away from and hide anymore,
Right.
my dad put on the tough guy image and saying, this is, and he did say that no, he goes. He did say that about when the heart replacement came in back then, and my dad is dead now 35, 36 years. He did say they wanted him to do the heart bypass surgery, which isn't like it is today by no stretch. And he said, when the good Lord's ready to take me, he said he'll take me. And they said, Mr. Roberts, we don't give you 2 months to live. And my dad lived 7.5 years.
He has no regrets. I must tell you, he has no regrets. He's playing me Frank Sinatra singing I Did It My Way.
My brother would sing that song, him and my brother.
There you have it.
That is amazing.
There you have it. No
Wow.
regrets.
Wow. Listen, it's all about me, Julie. Right now, Julie, I didn't even get on the Facebook comments. It's all about me. That is amazing with My Way because nothing was said to this man, William Stillman, in the house. I have got goosebumps, and everything he said is point on. And I will tell you that this is the first time I met this man, and My Way, my brother would sing, and my dad, and my brother was a hell of a singer. I mean, my oldest brother who has passed could sing.
Was that sung at an official event, like a wedding or a funeral, or because I'm getting that also?
Wedding.
Wedding. Thank
Wedding.
you. Thank
Yep,
you.
my sister's wedding.
There you have it.
Yeah, my sister's wedding.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Dad.
Yeah, how about it?
Thank you, Dad and Grandpa.
It's amazing. Listen,
Grandpa brought him through for you.
that is amazing. Wow, holy crap, man! That's the first time that everybody got me kind of like a little emotionally upset on this show. Holy
Yeah, you're
smokes,
weepy.
man! I am. It was just getting. I guess you see that a lot. I guess with people that.
When I first started doing this, it never occurred to me that people would take it so seriously that I should have Kleenex available, but I learned very quickly. But my job is to be an impartial third party, so I try to stay a bit emotionally detached from the work, otherwise I'd be a mess myself.
Oh, that was amazing. I mean, that everything you said there. Now, where did Frank Sinatra and My Way come? Because that was, I don't know, whatever.